I'm going to show you the exact thing that makes AI useless for most people, and it has nothing to do with the app. Look at this. 6 words, and this is what came back. Generic, hollow, completely useless. Not because AI is bad, because it had nothing to work with. That's it. That's the whole problem. Hi, I'm Suzy, and I simplify AI for real life. Okay, so here's what's actually happening. When most people open AI for the first time, they treat it like Google. Short question, hit enter, and wait for the answer. Makes sense. That's what we've been doing for the last 20 years online. However, AI is not a search engine. And the moment you understand that is when everything changes. Here's how I think about it. Imagine you have a really smart, brilliant friend that can write anything, answer anything, plan anything, help you with anything. And it's available 24/7. But here's the thing. That friend, she doesn't know you. She doesn't know your history. She doesn't know your likes or your dislikes. She just has zero context on your life. If you text her, write me an email so I can send to my kid's school, what will she send you back? Probably a generic email. You didn't give her any history, any context. You didn't tell her anything. Now imagine you actually explained her the situation. You said, look, I need to send an email to my kid's school. His teacher sent me a note talking about his disruptive behavior during class. I want this email to be warm and collaborative, but also not defensive. And please make it clear that I'm on top of it. I am already talking to my son about it. Oh, lastly, keep it short. That friend now is actually going to give you something that you can actually send. Same person, completely different results. The only thing that changed is what you gave her. And that's what's happening to AI every single time. And here's the part I don't think gets said enough. The people who think AI doesn't work for them, they're not less smart. They're not less technical. They just never got told this one thing. And that's not their fault, because most AI content online nowadays are either too advanced or too vague to be useful. So what I want to do today is give you something practical. 1 word, 5 letters, that holds everything you need to remember for when you open AI next time, so you get something useful as an answer. The word is clear. Context, level, expectation, audience, refine. 5 letters. Not a technique, not something you have to study. Just a way to remember what you would actually tell a smart friend when you need some help. Because that's all it is. The C is for context. Your situation, what's going on, who you are, why it matters right now. This is the one that changes everything. Without context, AI is just guessing. It is just filling in the gaps with the most generic thing of what you meant. So instead of plan my week, you say, I have 2 kids under 3. My husband works long hours during the week. I have a pediatrician appointment this Wednesday. I am trying to build a business as a side hustle. I need to record a video before Friday. Help me figure out how to structure my week so the non-negotiables actually happen. See how different that is? You're not writing an essay. You're just telling it your actual situation. 2 phrases, 3 at most. And now it knows who it's talking to. The context doesn't need to be perfect. It just has to exist. L is for level. And it's simpler than it sounds. You just tell AI where you're starting from in this subject. Because if you don't, it picks some middle of the road level that might be too hard for you to understand or annoyingly basic. Are you a complete beginner? Just tell it, I don't know anything about this subject. Do you have some background? Mention it. I know a few things, I just don't understand this one. Are you a complete expert who only needs one specific thing? Say it so too. I use it all the time. I open AI and I tell it, please explain X to me in a simple way and pretend I don't know anything about it. Don't use jargon words, don't use technical words. And what I get back? It's something I can actually work with, something I can understand, and I will not get frustrated. It's a tiny thing that makes a real difference. E is for expectation. What do you want your answer to look like? Format, length, tone, goal. Because AI will give you something, but without this, it's guessing what something should look like. Do you want a list or a paragraph? A draft you can copy or ideas you can think through? Formal or casual? Less than 100 words or as detailed as possible? People feel weird about being this specific, like they're being too demanding. But here's what I notice. The more specific you are about what you want and the way you want, the closer the first answer lands. You're not being demanding. You're saving both of you time. For example, help me write a message to my family doctor about moving my appointment from today to next Tuesday. Make it short, warm but clear, 2 or 3 phrases max. That gets you somewhere useful on the first try. A is for audience. Who is this actually for? This one matters most when you're writing or creating something for someone else. Because as soon as you tell AI who is it for, it automatically adjusts the tone. You don't have to describe the style if you don't want to. You just say who's going to read it. Because writing to your son's teacher is different from writing to your best friend. Writing to a 5-year-old is different from writing for your boss. AI knows the difference, but only if you tell it who is it for. I use this with my kids constantly. When I need to explain something to my oldest one and I can't find the proper words, I just ask AI to explain it to a preschool level. What comes back is concrete, simple, and actually makes sense for my 3-year-old. It sounds like a small thing, but it saves me like 10 minutes of going in circles with my kids. And the R is refine. This is the most powerful and unfortunately the most skipped one. Here's what I see happening all the time. People go to AI, ask a question, get an answer, don't like it, and just give up or open a new conversation. That's not how it actually works. The first answer is just a starting point, not the final answer. And the move is to just keep talking. Make it shorter. Change the tone. It's too stiff. Give me 3 versions of it. The second one was better. Can we get that one and just change the ending? You're not failing when the first answer needs adjustment. You're at the beginning of a conversation. That's literally how it's supposed to work. And by the second or third message, you usually have something that's actually good. This is also the part that feels more natural because it's just talking. You react, you adjust, you say actually more like this, just like you would talk to someone that was helping you. So that's clear. Context, level, expectation, audience, refine. And I want to show you what this actually looks like in one real situation, because seeing it apply in one complete example is worth more than 5 partial ones. This happened last week, Tuesday evening. I'm tired. Kids are finally down, and I realize I have no idea what we're eating for the rest of the week. My husband works late. I have maybe 30 minutes to get food on the table. My first instinct was to type, what should I make for dinner this week? And I got a random list. Pasta, stir-fry, tacos, nothing about my life. Nothing about the fact that in a Brazilian house, rice is basically a non-negotiable. Nothing about 2 toddlers who need to eat before 7 p.m. or everything falls apart. So I tried again with context. I said, I'm Brazilian. Rice is part of almost every lunch and dinner in our house. We eat a lot of meat. I have 2 kids under 3. I need dinners I can make in 30 minutes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Give me a week of dinners that actually fit this. What came back was completely different. Suggestions that made sense for our table. Rice with everything. Quick proteins for the short nights. Something I could actually use. Same AI, same app, completely different results. Because I gave it my actual situation instead of a one-liner. And then I refined. I said, I don't actually like omelette for dinner. Can you give me something else? And it adjusted. One more message and I had a real plan. That's the whole thing. Context, refine, done. 5 minutes instead of standing in front of the fridge at 7 p.m. making decisions on empty. And I know what some of you are thinking, but that's more typing than just asking a simple question. I get it. It feels like more at the start. But what you're actually doing is saving you 3 rounds of bad answers. Because when you give AI the whole situation, the first answer is actually useful. So you're not spending 10 minutes trying to fix a useless starting point. And once you do this a few times, it becomes automatic. Like you don't think about it anymore. You just open AI, you give the whole context, and you get a good starting point. It takes maybe 30 extra seconds at the start, but it saves you minutes of frustration every single time. So, what I want you to take from today is this. AI is not magic. It's not trying to read your mind. AI is just a very capable tool that works best when you treat it like a real conversation. Tell it what's going on, where you're coming from, what do you want the answer to look like, who is going to read it, and if the first answer is not good enough, just keep talking to it. Context, level, expectation, audience, refine, clear. That's the shift. And once it clicks, you will look back at the one-liner and laugh. Now, I put together a free guide that walks you through exactly what AI is, what it's actually good for, and gives you a simple 1-week plan to start using it without the overwhelm. No pressure, no hype, no optimization. Just a calm place to start. It's called the AI Starter Guide, and the link is in the description. Comment below and tell me the one thing you're gonna use AI for this week. And if you're new here, subscribe because next week we're going to talk about something that I think it's even more interesting than this. Using AI not to answer a question, but to actually think alongside you. It's one of my favorite things to show people, and I'll see you there. If you send her a task, so I want this email to be warm, just a way to remember what you, I have to, my gosh. When I need to explain something to my 3-year-old, it sounds like a small thing, but saves me, saves me. Make it shorter, change the tone. It's too stiff. Give me 3 versions of it. No, no hype. No, blah, blah. And if you're new here, subscribe because next week, subscribe. And if you're here, if you're new here, caramba, here new, new here.